Hello there guys, welcome to Dinos World. Today I feature the all new Apache RTR 164V, the BS6 model. What all new changes does it bring along with it, and my first ride impression as to how does it feel to ride. Every detail is what is coming up in this first ride review. So without further ado, let's get started with this review.
Now I burned every bridge I ever crossed, faced it all and lost against the odds. How much life to live and I've learned. Oh, I've been so patient. Oh, the suffocating. Oh, it suffocated me.
This is the TVS Apache RTR 164V, the BS6 model. So what all new does it have on offer? Well, first obviously is the new 159.7cc 4-valve BS6 compliant engine, which is now more environment friendly and puts out lesser pollution compared to the BS4 model. But this does come at a price which is lesser power and lesser torque. Power is now down to 16.02 PS at 8,250 RPM and torque is now down to 14.12 Newton meters at 7,250 RPM. We get a 5-speed gearbox. So on paper, this makes lesser power and puts out lesser torque when compared to the preceding model, because the first gen model used to put out a class leading 16.8 PS and 14.8 Newton meters. So does this mean that we have been robbed of the explosive performance and the sheer riding pleasure that this bike had on offer? Well, I'll talk about that in a moment, but what else has changed? Well, we now get an LED headlamp with LED DRLs that look sharp and aggressive and more pronounced when compared to prior. We also now get fuel injection as standard. So I guess with the BS6 norms kicking in, it's about time to say goodbye to the good old carbureted engines. We also now get new body graphics which make the entire design come alive and look sportier than before. The seat is all new as well. The fabric and the foam used look a lot more premium and the padding is just about perfect. The single seat layout also offers more room for the rider as well as the pillion. Talking about the speedo, earlier the FI variant used to get a gear position indicator but the carb didn't, and now we have only one variant, which is the FI variant, but unfortunately it doesn't feature the gear position indicator. It does however show the top speed and the 0 to 60 timing. Also, I feel the turn-by-turn navigation assist courtesy of the Smart X Connect app is available only for the RTR 200, because I couldn't find that option on the 164V. You can still confirm this by checking with your local TVS showroom, guys. The bike weighs the same as before at 149 kgs. Tank capacity remains the same at 12 liters. Ground clearance is 180 mm, which is more than sufficient. Seat height is 800 mm, which is manageable for shorter and average height riders. Talking about the brakes, we continue to get a 270 mm pedal disc up front and a 200 mm pedal disc at the back. We get something called Supermoto ABS, which actually means single channel ABS. So ABS is operational only on the front wheel. Also, the new BS6 model features a feather start mechanism, which means just a gentle tap of the starter button is enough to start the bike instead of keeping the starter button pressed for long. Now, performing suspension duties are telescopic forks up front and a race-tuned monoshock at the back. Suspension is provided by Showa Suspension, which is usually providing suspension setups for higher capacity sport bikes. So now that I've given you guys a quick overview of the motorcycle, let's go ahead and check out my first ride impression. So now let's just go ahead with my acceleration test. was awesome. 123 was it? Let's hope the top speed flashes on the screen. My god, this BS6 on paper might be down on power and down on torque, but trust me, the way they have tuned the engine is absolutely brilliant. It's spectacular. It's far more refined. It's absolutely sublime and divine, especially the gear shifts. I have to say this is the best feel that a gearbox has on offer in this segment. So this has to be the best shifting gearbox in the entire segment. It's so smooth, so quick, so precise, and then the acceleration, the clean acceleration is just phenomenal. You have that rumble that you can associate with the RTR Apache bloodline. Can you hear it? Oh. Wow, the way this machine accelerates is intense. This is a significant improvement when compared to the BS4 model. I know it was great, it was raw and powerful, but this revs so cleanly and so beautifully. Holds the line perfectly. The handling is absolutely spot on. Wow, that exhaust note is to die for. The bass heavy exhaust note, the signature style. So how does it feel to ride? Well, I have to say it's significantly improved when compared to the BS4 model. The seating is a lot more comfortable. The foam is of premium quality. The handlebar, well, it remains the same, but it is well positioned right from prior, so doesn't need to change. The foot pegs are ideally positioned as well. I love the exhaust sound though. It's much more pronounced now. I don't know how well the GoPro can capture it, but it is significantly bass heavy now when compared to prior. It's as good as the 200, because the 200 came with a really bass heavy exhaust note, and this one, the BS6 model, again kind of brings back the original charm of the RTR bloodline. So this was just to give you guys an idea of the bass heavy exhaust note. Now, another good thing about this motorcycle, unique feature that TVS highlight about this BS6 variant, the 164V, is that it gets a new feature called GTT, which stands for Glide Through Traffic. So what it basically does is it works like the low RPM assist that we get on Suzuki motorcycle big bikes like the V-Strom and the GSX S750, such that the bike doesn't snap out on you while you're just ambling through bumper to bumper chock-a-block city traffic. So what it basically does is you don't have to use the accelerator at all. All you need to do is, I'm not using the accelerator, just let go of the clutch and you can see the bike moves. No accelerator, the bike moves up to 7 kilometers per hour in the first gear. So all you need to do is use the clutch when you want to get going. You can see first gear 6 kilometers per hour, second gear it's 11 kilometers per hour, and third gear kind of goes up to 17 kilometers per hour. So that's how the glide through traffic feature works. So let's do the braking test. Taking it up to 60 kilometers per hour. Oh, There was a bit of a fishtail. The rear wheel did lock up, and there was a bit of fishtail, but the front brake has a good bite to it. We'll try it one more time. Yeah, this time it was far better, very straight without any fishtailing, and more pressure on the front brake, and the bike did comes to a standstill in a very controlled manner. Wow, it's so lightweight and agile. That's what racing technology is all about, and TVS claimed this to be a race-tuned FI engine, fuel-injected engine, and it feels so clean, so refined, and so responsive. The throttle response is more immediate, without any latency. You can see it just responds to the ring of a throttle. And this is a motorcycle where you can cruise at around 80-85 kilometers per hour effortlessly. You can see still a long way to go. 6,000 RPM, doing around 80-82 kilometers per hour. You can cruise like this all day long without putting any effort on the engine, and that comes courtesy of the 4-valve engine, which allows the engine to breathe easy even at higher RPMs. So that's another major plus. The brakes are good. The seating posture is perfect. You have adequate room for the rider as well as the pillion. The suspension is perfectly sprung. It gives you great confidence while doing greater triple-digit speeds. At the same time, at lower speeds, it offers a comfortable and pliant ride through the city streets. So it's perfectly tuned, and it's a Showa suspension, so it's race tuned as well, but it's not too hard or not too stiff to break your back. So it does give you the assurance while cornering hard. It does give you the confidence while pushing it to the limits on the straights. At the same time, riding through the city with the pothole-ridden city streets, it gives you a comfortable ride through that. That is kind of getting best of both worlds. So that's another major plus that falls to the favor of the RTR 164V, the BS6 model. It's a really good ploy that TVS have done. Whatever they have done, the kind of enhancements that they have done to the engine, despite the power loss on the spec sheet or the loss of torque on the spec sheet, you don't feel that robbing you of the joy of experiencing that typical RTR vibes that you expect from the Apache tribe or the Apache bloodline. So that's a lot more satisfying for the enthusiasts out there and the RTR fanboys. So the BS6 model of the RTR 164V really rocks, and I'd like to give it a big thumbs up from my side.